What is up, Mavs fans and hoop heads? Yo, hope your vibes are immaculate today. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, with us or not, man. Just happy, hope good vibes are out there for all of you. I'm AG, your host. Owner, CEO, director, manager, all that. Welcome on into another episode of Mavs Rundown. Appreciate you for listening, especially if you are listening on today, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Shout out, even my boo. Man, going into this game, man, Mavs win. Game 4. Tied the series up at 2 apiece. Mavs win 111-101. What a game, man. If you were watching this, the Mavs just controlled this thing from the early get-go and just handled business throughout the game with such, you could just tell that this is a team that's been tested. It's kind of not that we've been here before, but we've been somewhat playoff tested, and we've learned what it takes to win games, and we can't just give up and not, just those little type of things like that, man, that really showed in this game because, we took advantage and basically had a lead most of this game, the whole game. If not, I think really the whole game we had the lead, except maybe early. We're going a little bit back and forth, but, the Mavs, have the lead this whole game and they just never gave it up. They let the Suns, they were going to go on runs. They're a really good team, so, they're going to catch back up. But Mavs held off, were able to shout out. I know Dodo is the main one I'm thinking of right now, but he would hit clutch threes or just, these clutch shots whenever the Suns would make these runs and really, kind of, stop the bleeding, so to say, and so to speak. And, man, this was such a great game. Let me just go through it in case y'all, didn't get a chance to listen or watch it, but we're just going to go over it, man. What a game, man. Hot shooting tonight, too. I'll get us all those stats and stuff coming up. But, okay, in the first, man, we started off, we had early tech on Luka after he got kind of bodied. He went inside, and Ayton and someone else closed out on him. Ayton kind of, bodied him when Luka was trying to pass it out of when he drove the lane and they doubled him, and he caught a little body from Ayton. They didn't call the foul when he was trying to pass it off. Got kind of pissed off. Next possession, ends up talking too much and gets a tech for it. So you were thinking, oh man, hopefully this doesn't come back to bite us. Then there was a Jay Crowder tweaked his right ankle. Actually had to leave the game. They ended up coming back and played pretty well. But maybe that could be something big, though, for the Suns moving forward. If he's not, 100%, even though he's still out there, so that's good. And definitely don't want to see any players injured or don't wish that upon anyone. But I know a tweaked ankle right, Jay Crowder is not as good as 100% healthy. 100% healthy, he's, I don't want to say he's a stopper, but he's a high defensive player. He's a very good defensive player. Underrated, to be honest, because not a lot of people talk about how good his defense is. And, his journey did start here in Dallas. Shout out. That's why I do love me some great Jay Crowder. Especially don't want to see him injured, even when we're playing against him. But, him tweaked, though, that gives room for, people like, JB and Luka to kind of maneuver around them. And especially he's got chased around so many guys off screens and stuff, that really can hinder that kind of player. So that's why I definitely had to note that down in the first. And moving forward, that'll probably be, I don't say big, but that'll be definitely something moving forward. And, the Mavs in the first quarter, man, we made 8 threes. We're 8 of 13 from threes, 8 threes. We had to lead by 12 at the end of the first. It was, honestly, at first it was things were going a little bit back and forth, and then the Mavs honestly just caught fire. It was like a team effort, really, because Luka had 9. And Dodo had 9. Then other than that, it was pretty spaced out. Reggie 4, Brunson 4, Kleba 3, Dinwiddie 2, and then Bertans 6. At the end of the first quarter, Bertans came in, hit 2 threes. That was big. Everyone was like, oh. That was really big. And only for the Suns, Booker had 13 points. And we held CP3, or let's say held, but yeah, we held him. He only had 0 points, and he had picked up 2 fouls. Luka also picked up 2 fouls, but CP3 only 0 points. And they said the Mavs had their highest scoring quarter of the whole series in that first quarter. We scored 37 points, so that's good sign already moved forward, up by 12. It was a good sign already in the first quarter. And then, as I said at the end of the first, Davis, the Latvian laser, came in and, knocked down 2 threes, goes 2 for 2 in the first quarter. And then in the second quarter, the beginning, comes out hot, hits 2 more threes. I was like, damn, okay, Davis, do your thing, man. It was big to have those guys. And then, it was Davis hot, and then all of a sudden Spencer, was hot right after that and hits, a couple threes for the Mavs. And that little run in the beginning of the second really helped us. We kept the lead, especially with Luka being out. Let him rest. Good stuff from the bench tonight. This second quarter was a big show of that. The defense. The bench kind of stepped up in that aspect. Then a little bit later in the second, our defense kind of gave in a little bit. I think we were up by so much. I think with the most we had like a 17-point lead at one point. And I think we kind of let it get a little bit to our heads because we kind of started being lackadaisical on defense and letting them get some really open shots. And credit to giving a good team open shots. They're gonna knock them down, and they did that. Kind of crept back in the game there in the middle of the second quarter. And then CP3 picks up his 4th foul with 1 second left in the half. That was big. But right before that, I said they let him get back in it. And then, as I said, right before I started, Dodo and it was Dodo and other guys were able to just knock down these shots to stop the bleeding. And honestly, it picked up right before the end of the half. They kind of went on a little scoring run and increasing the lead back up to 12 again as CP3 picked up his 4th foul with 1 second left on Luka. All these calls were pretty questionable tonight, but, I don't get into the referee stuff. That's a whole nother conversation to get into with me about. But, he picks up his 4th foul, 1 second left, ends up sending Luka to the line. Mavs had the lead at 10, and he makes free throws, end up being by 12. So we were up by 12 at the end of the first half, so we ended up keeping the lead. It looked like we were about to, single-digit lead at that half, and then luckily the Mavs went on a little run right at the end and picked it up. Had 12 Mavs lead by 12 at the half, and really only Booker, Ayton, and Crowder were the only real offense for the Suns at halftime. Then Booker had 19, Ayton 10. You were feeding him down low. He's getting the open, easy shots on the smaller guys. And then Jay Crowder, of course, is hitting his shots. He had 12 points. Other than that, nobody had more than 5. Chris Paul 5, and Javon McGee off the bench had 5. Other than that, nobody scored more than that. So, good stuff by Mavs, kind of limiting other players, and I guess keying in on really Chris Paul, especially getting him in foul trouble. That was big. And kind of just sticking with the mentality, let Devin, cook, and then kind of really focus on everybody else type stuff. And, because he's really not the creator that Luka is to really kind of let that happen. And luckily, just really our bench guys stepped up more than their bench and role guys stepped up more than their role guys. So, in the half, Luka 16, Dodo had 15. Had 5 threes at the half. He ends up with his career high in threes tonight. But he had 5 at the half with 15 points, 5 rebounds. Reggie only had 4 points at the half, and then Brunson only had 4 points at the halftime. And of course, Luka 16, 3 rebounds, 6 assists at the half. Doing work still, not even having a super shooting night, but still, 16 points is good. Then the bench was big. If you look at the halftime, the bench was big. We had basically 29 points compared to their 8 at halftime bench points. So that's big. Kleba 7 points. Had another pull up. I think he had a pull up midi. Oh man, now I'm getting the games confused. But he basically just played really well. Had a 3, 7 points. Bertans. 4-5 from 3 at the half. Still has 12 points from his 4 threes. Spencer 10 points, and then Frank started getting this. Frank's still getting the minutes over Josh Green now. I think that's gonna be keen, or the same moving forward. Keeping those minutes like that, because Frank is actually playing pretty damn well in these last 2 games with the Mavs win, and playing his defense, because he's got a 7'1" wingspan. So Yeah, even at his height, I think he's like 6'3", maybe 6'4", but 7'1" wingspan, so he can really make it tough on guys, just contesting shots and making it, just shots more tougher than usual with longer arms on you, or all up in your face when you're trying to shoot. But yeah, at the halftime, the Latvian laser, man, his 4 threes in the first half were big, and the Mavs shot 58% as a team from three in the first half. Went 14 of 24, 14 threes in the first half. A lot of teams made 14 threes in the whole game. We made that in the first half, and really efficient at it, really good. Really good tonight, and again, as I mentioned already, the bench points was really crazy. That was the big kicker right there. CP3 foul trouble, and our bench really kicking in. Role player as in Dodo really stepping up, because at this point Brunson didn't really make a mark on this game. Didn't really do a whole lot. As I do this, hold on. Actually, I want to see Winnie, because he had his scoring. I might not be able to do it out here. I have to look on here. But I'm sorry, I'm doing on the fly a little research, because he had. Should have did this right before. I'm so excited to start the podcast. I just want to get on and start talking about it. So yeah, he has, that's 5, 6, 7. Okay, so yeah, that's what I thought. The third quarter now, because I'm starting the second half. Third quarter is when now Jalen Brunson stepped in, because he has 7 in the third quarter, and that put him up to 11 points. So he's, he was doing his thing. My bad, I'm trying to do a whole bunch of things at once right now. Okay, in the third, yeah, and yeah, so he picked it up in the third quarter, but really what was big to start the third, man, at about a 9-minute mark in the third, CP3 picked up his 5th foul, and that was big. He already had 4 going right before halftime, and at the start of the third, he picks up his 5th, or at least that 9-minute mark, and it was after JB threw, man, he got lucky. He threw a bad pass out of an open layup attempt, and because he went up. And honestly, he had a layup. That's why I was getting kind of mad, because he wasn't being aggressive at that point. And he had like a layup attempt right there, at least get an and-1, get a foul or something. And he kicks it out like last second for no really reason, because whoever was under the goal, I think it was maybe Jay Crowder, it wasn't like a hard contest on him. So you could have had like an easy little floater at least. And he kicks it out last second, and of course CP3 picks it off. But then once CP3 picks it off, Jalen Brunson, is kind of come up behind him, and Chris Paul does that thing where you try to slow up and get the guy to run into you. Well, no, Chris Paul, you forgot the rules, my man. They changed that this year. That whole Trae Young stuff, and we're trying to back up players, get that extra foul when they drive the lane. They're calling offensive foul, so he did that. They called offensive foul. Of course, they're like, what? But hey, man, that's the rules. They changed that. They want that out the way. All that baiting, people just running in behind you, just stopping and doing all that. Like, no, let it be a legit someone come and hit you. So yeah, CP3 picked up that legit 5th foul right there. I know that was a legit one. Right there, just off of the rule of you can't be doing that stuff where you try to bait someone right in front and then slow up and make them run into you, and then fall and flop and act like you got fouled. So that's they changed that rule, so that he picked up his 5th foul, so that was big. And then a little bit later, right after that, Mavs go on like a 7-0 run to go put us up 75-63, double-digit lead. And like right after that, or during that, I wrote down that in a note, like JB there was a shot clock. It went down to like 2 or 1 seconds, and we had it on our side, and we passed it into JB, and he had this nice fadeaway as the shot clock expired, and then it was like, all right, JB, there we go. Now we need to see more from you. And that really was that's why I thought he picked it up. And yeah, he had 7 points in the third, which was big, because he had 11. He had 7 points in the third, and then of course he had another 7 in the fourth. So that's good. I was doing quick math right now, looking at the box scores. Yeah, man, awesome stuff by JB. But of course, we needed him to step up, and he started to step up in the second half, man. Again, these halftime talks, getting them big. And, man, I wrote down right before the end of the third, Frank Ntilikina, as I mentioned, man, came in and played, of course he played great defense in the first. He didn't even get a shot attempt, but just his defensive effort being in there, spell out some minutes for, whether it's Luka or Brunson or whoever, or even, Spencer, I guess, at times too. Just, spell some minutes for those guys. come out there and play just really great defense, to affect the game he did the way he did last game. Now, I'm not saying he was like just some big defensive stopper, but he definitely bothered their players more than Josh Green would have or did, at least in the first two games. Frank really came out, was big. And then right at the end of the third, man, they swing it around, and Frank hits a big corner three, man. It was awesome to see, man, to put the Mavs up 9. It was a big three because they were making a little run, as I said, as the Suns do. They were making little runs here the whole game, chipping in at the lead, and then the Mavs would just hit some big shots. Guys were hitting big shots, especially Dodo tonight. That's the main one, was hitting a lot of clutch shots throughout this game, whenever, stop the bleeding type clutch shots. And then Frank's big three, we're only up by 6, and then that three put us up 9. It was 87-78. I think that's what it was. Yep, 87-78 at the end of the third quarter. So Frank's three right there was big. Again, the bench just showing up tonight, doing what they needed to do to help give us a win. I have Luka, do everything, because we learned now that, Luka can't be the, just go out there and just shoot he's got to have help. Guy can't just, it doesn't have to be Luka. Any player in the NBA can't just go out and get 45 and then expect their team to win, especially in a playoff game against a really good team, especially a good defensive team. So, you got to have other guys, help and step up. So, that was big. And then the 4 starts, man, and JB posts up CP3, and he misses on it. And, it was a good attempt to me. And I was like, all right, but I like the post up on him. But then he goes for the offensive rebound, and then they really fast, you don't really see it. But then on the replay, you see Chris Paul reach in and grab Jalen Brunson's arm as he tries to go back for his offensive board, which is a good attribute for any young players out there. Jalen Brunson going after his own rebound. That's what you got to do. After you always go after your own, after you take it, go after your rebound, because that thing can always bounce right back to you, and then you get good position, get an offensive rebound, and are able to cause havoc, whether like Jalen Brunson going back up or kicking it out. Usually everybody's collapsed going in for a rebound, so then shooters left wide open, you kick it out for an open three. So it's always good to go after your shot, young players. And then JB did good in this, going after his shot, and when he did, CP3 kind of reached in to, hold his arm down, and he can't do that technically. Probably can't hold his arm. He can't hold somebody's arm down. He's trying to go up for a rebound, and he does that. And they called him. He did it real quick. And if you're watching in game time, you don't really it was so fast you don't even notice it unless you know what you're looking for. You're watching his hand, But it happens real fast, and then but you see on the replay they do it. So that's technically a foul. So that's his 6th, and CP3 is out. Fouls out the game, and that was big for the Mavs, man. We needed that. That was big. Just his whole night, Chris Paul just did not have a good night playing. Like he just all around his game was just not good. He finished with only 5 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists though still. But just offensively it was just not his. Just all around it just was not his game, or his type of luck type game. And then later on, as I said, like Dodo with the clutch shots, he hit 2 back-to-back threes that gave him his highest scoring or his highest amount of threes he's made in the game, which is 8. And he hits 8 threes, and back-to-back threes there in the fourth quarter to make it 97-83 with 6 minutes left in the fourth, and you're just feeling so good as a Mavs fan. You're just like, oh my gosh, like everything's just going right, like. Guys that we know can hit these shots are finally just hitting their shots when we need them to. JB a little bit later, right after that, had a nice little post up on Booker. We faked him out to the left. Had to post him up right in the center, in the middle of the court or the middle of the paint. Faked a little left and got him on the. And Devin Booker bit on the fake left. Went fake. JB went right. Got the bucket to go in, put the Mavs up 101-88. That was nice. I had to mention that because that whole feud between Brunson and Booker, which I'm only watching because it's like Booker's just yelling at since game 1, yelling this dude's ear, just talking trash to Jalen Brunson, I don't know, it just seems confusing to me because Jalen Brunson doesn't ever really talk shit unless you don't know. You're out there, Jalen Brunson could be saying some real subtle type fucking shit. I can see Jalen Brunson just being really calm and saying something and not even, Jalen didn't even say, what did he say? But he could say probably some really messed up stuff. I could definitely see that. Like just being so maybe he just got under Booker's skin. And Booker, I don't know. Maybe just Booker is that asshole that all Mavs fans think, and he's just talking shit to JB. So then it's always nice to see JB go at Booker. And he did a lot in this game. Going at him, getting to the free throw line. And as I said, JB hit him with a post-up move. Like, oh, yeah, JB showed he wasn't scared in this game. And that was good to see. You need to see, back-to-back games where he's showing that he's being aggressive and not scared. Didn't really show too much in the first half. Only, as I said, 4 points or something like that. But, again, the second half, 7 in the third, 7 in the fourth. Good scoring, efficient scoring from him. And then he finished the night with 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 of 17 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3. Good, efficient basketball that we know Jalen can play. And he did that tonight. Showed up, gave his average, a little bit more than that. And that's really all we can ask from Jalen. Just at least give us that. And he did that tonight. So that's, props to him. He showed up. It's not like he didn't show up. He showed up tonight. So that's good. And Reggie hit a corner 3 right after, it's 101, 88. And then Reggie hits a corner 3 a little bit later on. I think that was really the kind of the dagger. But then, he makes it in a corner 3 over Ayton. Makes that 104 to 93. So again, they were down. They cut it single digit, get it down to 8, and then Reggie hits this corner 3. Then they go down, score a basket, and they come back. And then Jalen Brunson, hits a corner 3 from the same exact spot that Reggie just nailed one from. So 107 to 95, and that was pretty much, that's all the notes I took for the end of the, because after that 107-95, after JB hit that was pretty much game. But even though a lot of people probably say the game was whenever Luka made this really dime of a pass to Cleveland in the middle, but I don't really count it because at that point the Suns already subbed in already all their bench players. So, and then we still had our starters, which isn't disrespect. They just didn't know. I think at timeouts it's hard to see who's really subbing in and coming in and out. And then we went back out there and seen that, okay, we have all our, they went and subbed, they went to their bench. And we saw our starters, so then, finished the play out, and Luka gets this dime to Maxey right in the middle of the paint, wide open in the paint, and just, zips it right through the defense into him. And gets a layup. They call timeout after that. We empty the bench after that, and it's, game over. And good stuff from the Mavs, man. Fucking win this and tie it up. 2-2. It's a fucking series now. Not only are we playing a Game 5 on Tuesday, but there will be a Game 6 for sure on Thursday. And it'll be at home. We are coming back to Dallas, baby. And this win, the first win we made it, we're for sure going back to Phoenix. Now, winning this one, we have a chance to close it out here at home in Dallas, especially if we can get a win now, steal a road victory, which is, really when this, as everyone says, the series doesn't start till the road team gets a dub. So hopefully the Mavs come out are the ones that get that dub, this next game, get the road game dub where, it really, starts the series, and now got Phoenix on their back, against the wall, or in the corner, they're back against the wall, really cornered up, as I was saying, as I'm trying to say, as I'm looking at these little stats. Man, honestly, the keys to the game, we just played real physical. And Luka said after the game, he played a physical on both ends, and or played a physical game, and that was what we needed. And that's a good mindset to see, and good to hear, honestly, as a Mavs fan, just to hear that, they want to be physical mindset, so that's good. You want to hear that. You want them to be at least cognizant and conscious of them being like, we need to be physical. They're trying to be physical with us. No, we need to be more physical with them, match. As I said, fire with fire. You've got to fight the same intensity with them. And honestly, that's what we've been doing these last 2 games. And they did. They played hard and, physical on both ends of the ball. Pretty much all game. Had little lapses here and there, but, pretty much stepped it up when they need to. Or, really when they needed to after, Suns were going on little runs. And we needed a stop or a bucket or whatever. The Mavs were able to step up, and the bench stepped up big. The bench was, I thought I wrote down what the bench points were. Oh my goodness. Quick math, guys. All right, bench points. We had 36 bench points to their. Oh man, a lot of 2s right there. 9. 26. So the bigger picture, I mean, we still won the bench points. They had a little bit more. They had 2-2-2s and stuff like that. But we won the bench battle basically 30. Oh my gosh, I already forgot. 36 to 20, like 26 or something like that. So we won the bench battle. That's good. Our bench showed up tonight is basically what I'm getting to was talking about the bench. But they stepped up along with Dodo and Jalen Brunson in this game. Of course, they were big. Reggie Bullock didn't shoot a whole lot, but of course he hits a big three when needed to at the end. So he had 7 points. Toto, man, honestly, damn, it's hard to not give the ball to Luka, but I would honestly give the game ball. It's going to Dodo tonight, guys. Dodo gets game ball, dog. He's a career-high 8 threes in a Game 4 playoff game. We need to tie up the series. And he drops 24 points, 8 rebounds, assists, and is guarding literally everybody on the court 1 through 5. Like, oh, man, yeah. He gets game ball, man. And even Luka said it starts with Dodo and Reggie, man. These guys on the defensive end are like everything. And then, of course, on the offensive end, these are the guys that we need to hit these open shots. And they're credit to them, man. They're NBA professionals, and they're really damn good at their job when they're hitting these open threes. And that's credit to them and their craft and doing getting their shots up throughout all these years. And now it's paying off, especially Dodo, man, from where he started. And he wasn't, a 3-point threat at all. Now he's added that to the game where now he's fucking 8 of 12 from three in a Game 4 NBA playoff game, and finishes 24 points in a big win. I forgot. Ooh, I wonder what the record is, but I know there's a record where Dodo scores, over a certain amount over like 15 or 18. I know it's over 20 for sure. The Mavs are damn near unbeatable, so that adds to that record right there. I know that's probably gonna be thrown around a lot. Mavs shoot 45% from three. Hold the Suns shooting 36% from three. And the Suns only shot 46% from the field. Beat us in the field because, of course, they were scoring. They beat us in the paint, which, of course, what we expect. That's what we expect them to score probably more points, but we're just gonna have to beat them from three. And we put up 44 threes tonight, so good. We hit the 40 mark. They were putting up shots, which it looked like it more tonight. It looked like more of a 44 3-point attempt night, but hitting 45% of the threes, man, that's awesome. We made 15, 19 free throws. Basically, we about made the same percentage of free throws. Had them about the same. And the turnover battle. We won the turnover battle, man. Only 11 turnovers to their 17. So again, making them turn it over, pressuring them on defense, just getting up in them, playing that hard defense. It really showing that it bothered them, at least in these last 2 games. So good stuff. I don't know if y'all went over. Luka had 26, 7 rebounds, and 11 assists. He was, it's a really off shooting night from Luka. 9 to 25, or off shooting day. Actually, a night. It's a day game. He was only 9 to 25, 1 of 10 from 3, but still finished with 26, 7, and 11. Of course, doing crazy Luka stuff. But again, a bad night by Luka was able to be offset by everybody else stepping up tonight, and that was big. Because we know if these other guys just step up and hit, honestly, these open shots, because that's what our offense is generating, just open shots. If they just step up and hit, open threes, like everything could be different. And Bertans, man, another shout out to him again off the bench. Really, all his points in the first half, but they were big. Really started an avalanche for the Mavs. That we gave us the lead that we kind of basically we didn't give up the lead the whole rest of the game. So shout out to him too. Spencer, he only finished with 10. I think all 10 were in the first half. Let me see. I think it was all 10 of his were in the first half. I want to see him be a little bit more aggressive, which I'm not trying to grunt because we won. But man, aggressive whenever he drives to the bucket, he has so many where Pitbull Brunson has become Pitbull Brunson, where he gets a lane, gets a little shoulder into the dude's chest, and he kind of gets that second where a guy's kind of getting, he gets bounced by his shoulder and has to recover and come back. But in that split second, Jalen Brunson's able to get off an easy little bunny floater. And I feel like Spitzer can honestly do the same thing, especially he's 6'6", so he's got a longer reach, so you don't have to bump him as hard, but just being aggressive and getting into the paint. I want to see more paint shots by Spencer, and you don't always have to be layups, man. I want to see him utilize a floater game. I know he's got a float game. He's basically an all-around hooper, so I know he's got a float game. I want to see him hopefully utilize that moving forward, because I feel like, he's trying to get to the lane, either trying to get a foul or it has to be like a good layup, like a regular layup. It can't, he's not looking for any type of floaters, which he's shown that if he takes some of these floaters, he makes them. He can make them, especially if he gets that little bit of uses the little bit of the JB kind of shoulder charge. I want to see him, take more of these floater shots. I just want to see him be more aggressive, because sometimes when he kicks it out, it's like, dog, you had a nice shot. You had if you would have just went up, like, you would have had enough room. Like, weren't even going to jump with you, because he'll make a jump pass. And the guy didn't even jump with it. It's like, dude, if you would have just jumped up for like a little floater layup, like, nobody would have contested you, and you'd have had a nice, easy percentage bunny floater compared to kicking it out to a guy that all of a sudden it's usually like we got to like restart our offense, which, he's pretty good at playmaking. He still finished with 4 assists because he's a good playmaker, but I just want to see him be more aggressive on the offensive end, especially when he's driving to the basket and utilizing the floater, the float game, kind of like how Jalen Brunson has done this whole playoff run, where he uses that little float and gets his shoulder, drives the lane, gets his little shoulder into the chest of the defense, gets him backed off a little bit, enough time where he just quick flips the ball up for a little quick bunny floater, and that's the game. Then now I want to see Spencer stick it up, pick that up, hopefully, in these next games, because I feel like Spencer can have a game where he's going to be like a Spencer game where he drops 20. I feel it coming, man. I honestly do. I think Spencer's going to be a big move. That's why feel like I'm a little bit hard on him, even though I said again the year I'm not going to judge him off this season, because I know that ACL guys that coming off, they play their best the following season. But honestly, he's getting into that mode where, especially he's playing deep, where he's looking better. So hopefully, I just want to see him playing more and better here, and I know he can. We've seen him play like that, especially at the end of the year. He showed that he can be that guy. So hopefully we have a Spencer game here coming up in Game 5 or 6. That would be huge. But other than that, man, like, everybody just stepped up. Kleba 11 points, Bertans 12 points. Kind of did everybody played their role tonight, perfectly. And then of course Dodo above and beyond with 8 threes. Brunson played his part, 18, a solid 18. Luka still finishing with 26, 7, and 11. Oh, man, good stuff. Good stuff from the Mavs. Hyped to be a Mav fan. Makes this day a little bit sweeter for the Mavs. This is awesome, and hopefully everybody in that organization, and for the fan bases, Mother's Day, mothers out there, it makes it a little bit better for the Mavs to win today. Makes it a little bit sweeter, I should say. But yeah, that's pretty much it I got for this game, because honestly, Mavs just got to keep this recipe up. Fight fire. As I said, we just got to keep fighting fire with fire. Got to put up our shots, and I think we're trying to run a little bit more faster. We have normally average the slow pace, but I think we learned that we pick it up a little bit more, then we can always slow it, especially when we had the lead in the fourth quarter. Then we slow it down. Luka go one-on-one, take our time, run out the shot clock. Otherwise, we just need to be attacking and going and getting shots up. And guess what we got to do is get more shots up than from 3. Just keep shooting, especially not bad shots, but in our offense, the way we run, as I said, we get open shots. So keep the ball moving and get these shots, and good things can happen. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We got up 85 shots tonight to their 84, so we're still putting up a good amount of shots, and we helped them to only 25 threes tonight, and we shot 44. So good stuff by the Mavs, offensively and defensively. Come out with a Game 5 win. As I said, series tied. So our Game 4 win. I don't know if I said 4 or 5 just now, but yeah, Game 5 though is Tuesday, guys. So be ready. Another late game. It's at Phoenix. It's the best of 3 now. It's already tied 2-2. Best of 7. So now it's the best of 3. First team to win 2 wins this series. And Game 5, it starts Game 5 Tuesday at Suns, as I said, at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. start time on TNT. So y'all make sure your schedule's clear, and y'all got your Red Bulls or whatever energy drink, your coffee, whatever helps keep you up to watch the game. Hope y'all have that ready, or whatever beverages y'all might like, keep y'all up for the game, or whatever helps keep y'all up. But anyway, Game 6 now. Since winning this game, there will be a Game 6, and that is Thursday, and it will be here at Dallas, or here at home in Dallas for the Mavs. The time we don't know yet. We got to wait till the next game, the Heat Sixers game, is on tonight. So they got to wait for that one to play out. and they'll be able to, they'll play the time. So my guess is we'll still be a late game. We'll probably have the same time probably as our last game, which was what, 8:30. So I would guess around 8:30 for our game on Thursday. But yeah, man, there will be a game 6 on Thursday no matter what. So that's awesome, man. We extended it. We're fighting, making my prediction look real good right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go back over, but I did say Mavs in 6. So yeah, man, just good feeling right now, especially be a Mavs fan. We were counted out after the first 2 games. Now we back in this thing. It's gonna be funny to see all the TV shows and news people, the big time media outlets talk about the Mavs and stuff after they literally for like 2 days. I remember they like literally didn't even bring us up. Like they brought us up for like a quick little and this, the Phoenix Suns, Dallas or this, and then that's it. But all the other series they want to spend like 30 minutes, 20 minutes talking about. But our series, it was like they didn't even give a fuck. So it's gonna be funny seeing all of them jump on the Dallas's nutsack here soon, or really probably still doubt us. I hope they still doubt us, to be honest, because they try to get on our nutsack, it's gonna show so bad because they didn't even talk about us at all. So they better not be any turning. They better all still say Phoenix is gonna win because I'm gonna relish in this when if things still go the Mavs way. Because honestly, we play like this, fire over fire, playing physical, and everybody just stepping up. Man, I'm telling you, we can move on. Dallas can do this. This is a very good team we're playing, but Dallas can win this series, guys. We still have the best player in the whole series, so man, let's do this, man. I'm excited. Yo, thanks for checking it out. Make sure y'all check out Game 5 on Tuesday. It's big game, man. With the series tied 2-2. As I said, last year's winner of Game 5 usually, I think they win. I don't know what I think it's still 82% of the time. So it's a big Game 5, man. So it's gonna be big. Hope y'all all ready. And the Mavs Rundown also has Twitter. If you want to go and follow at Mavs_Rundown. And the Mavs Rundown podcast is free on YouTube along with Spotify and the Anchor app. And again, I'm AG. Thanks for listening, guys. Remember, cool heads prevail. And I'll see y'all next time on the Mavs Rundown. Messed up my own stuff. Yo, and happy Mother's Day again. Love all y'all. Peace. And go Mavs!